What's going on YouTube? My name is FG3000. I'm back in the place to be, and in today's video, we're gonna be doing the top 10 most disappointing games of 2020. Now, let me be clear, we're not talking about the top 10 worst games of 2020. Come on, they're mobile games. That list can be infinite. No, we're talking about games that we were looking forward to, and once we finally got our hands on it, we're like, oh, this is it? This is booty. So, top 10 most disappointing games for me personally. Coming in at number 10, believe it or not, yes, that Exos Heroes, my Exos Heroes, is number 10 most disappointing game of 2020, even though this is still my main hero collector. This is a game that I've been playing every single day since global launch, but I cannot run away from the fact that I thought 1 year of global launch in this game that the game would just be a little bit further along content-wise. Now, don't get me wrong, as far as like streamlining and quality of life, this game actually blew my expectations away. Like from a quality of life standpoint, Exos Heroes is phenomenal, but it completely underachieved in my opinion when it comes to content. And when I first saw this game, when I first started playing it, I had sky high expectations. Now they've come down a little bit. Hopefully 2021 is in a better position. Like I said, I'm not going anywhere. I still absolutely love Exos Heroes, but I cannot deny the fact that FG was a little disappointed with the progress the game has made thus far. Now, coming in at number 9, it's actually a tie. Don't judge me, it's gonna make sense here in a second. Doom Car and Forza Street. Now, I've gone on record in way too many videos to deny I never said it, that I thought that a vehicle-based hero collector could absolutely work. I used to think back to the fond memories of little kid FG playing Twisted Metal, and outside of Axel, all of those cars in those games, you didn't actually see the drivers, yet the cars had all the personality in the world, and I was like, yo, someone just needs to make a vehicle-based hero collector. They're gonna print money. Well, all right, in my defense, these games didn't do a good job. All right, I still kind of stand by that I think that this, niche can absolutely work. Someone just needs to do it right. Doom Car did an absolutely abysmal job. This game is like a browser game out of 1998. I'm not sure if they had browser games back then, but this would have been one of them booty browser games, all right? And then when you got Forza Street, dude, this game has the Forza name. They couldn't even be bothered to put more than a track or two in the game. No handling, no steering, nothing. The only thing you can do in this game is smash the gas and hit the NOS. Shout out to Vin Diesel. Abysmal, terrible game. And I'm that game's target audience, right? Like, I can put up with some booty games, but some booty's just too booty for FG. You know what I'm talking about? So number 9 goes to both Doom Car and Forza Street. Woefully disappointing. Now, on that same exact note as Doom Car and Forza Street, we make it to number 8 with Tom Clancy's Elite Squad. Now, if you're subscribed to this channel, you guys know me. I'm just trying to collect something that's unique and different, something that I haven't collected before. I've collected many a warrior and sorcerer and succubus across all of my other hero collectors. I'm trying to collect something new and different. How about an AK-47 or something? So here comes Tom Clancy's Elite Squad, and I'm thinking, you know what? A AAA company, studio like Ubisoft, maybe that's what we need here in the mobile gaming industry. And let me tell you, I was wrong. They didn't know what they were doing. This game, the daily gameplay loop was not fun. The guild wars were super confusing. Nobody knew what was going on. No one knew what to do to sign up. It was just a complete mess all the way through. And don't even get me started on the art style and the aesthetic. It looks like, when you're playing like a PC game and you set the graphics down to like low medium, that's what the game looks the entire time. Like blurry, you feel like the game could look better, but it doesn't. It was just a complete mess. I have no idea why Ubisoft put so much time and resources. Dude, they paid all kinds of streamers and YouTubers to promote this game. Not me, but this was, in my opinion, an absolute fail. However, I'm still standing by my guns. Just like a vehicle-based hero collector, I absolutely do think that we can have more of like a modern time hero collector as well, where people are using, shotguns and rifles and things of that nature. I do think that can work. Someone just needs to do it right. That's the name of the game here. Now, coming in at number 7 is a game that kind of hurts my soul to put on the list, is 100 Souls. This is a game that I had a ton of fun with, and I do think that this game could be way more popular and way more successful if the developer just took a step back and really tried to understand what makes a game like this fun. Because this game should not have been developed and put forth with a daily gameplay loop that is similar to other hero collectors. But that's what the developer tried to do. They want this game to be one of those games where you kind of spend all day logged into the game and grinding away, and I think that is the complete wrong way to go about a game like this, an action RPG with actual skill required. Believe it or not, this game requires skill, and the skill itself should have been the grind. All right, let me say that one more time. The skill factor required in this game is grindy enough. That's where they should have stopped. There was this boss in this game called the Chimera that I spent over 4 hours trying to defeat, using different weapons, different builds, bouncing around, flipping, trying to use my gamer skill. I finally defeated it and I was so ecstatic, right? That is the grind itself. Trying to overcome these big bosses, trying to get your time down, that's all this game needed. But the game also wanted to do, on top of challenge grind, they also wanted to do resource grind. So this is one of those games you have to log in every day and grind through a bunch of boring stages and fight a bunch of bosses that you've already defeated, because the game requires a ton of resources that have really, really bad drop rates, and the game wanted to make limited skip tickets so you can't really skip reliably. So the resource burnout comes really, really quickly, and a game like this, which is already, action games are a little bit more exhausting than kind of lazily sitting back and playing a turn-based RPG. So you have those two types of burnout kind of taking their toll on you, and it just really makes it so it's really hard to continue playing 100 Souls for a long period of time. However, with all that being said, I do still think that the honeymoon period in this game is actually a lot of fun that I recommend for a lot of people, and who knows, you might actually enjoy those grinds on top of each other. And the game has found a pretty solid niche of players, so financially the game is pretty solid, so there's no harm in giving this one a try. But for me, it's still a little disappointing. 100 Souls at number 7. Now, coming in at number 6 is Idola Phantasy Star Saga. Now, before this game came out, I was sold that this game was kind of like, yo, if you like Fate Grand Order, but you want a little bit more quality of life when it comes to like autoplay and stuff like that, Idola Phantasy Star Saga is for you. That might have a little truth to it, but it really only extends to really like the visuals. The game doesn't play anything like Fate Grand Order at all. I wasn't really impressed with the daily gameplay loop of the game. It had some creative ideas with the Idola system, but one of my biggest problems with the Idola system is that very early on, it gets pretty tedious, pretty slow, and kind of boring. And if you skip it, right, if you want to skip that part of the content, your rewards and your damage output are absolutely abysmal. So if you want to do your best in this game, right, if you want to maximize your time and maximize your progress, you have to do that content the most boring way possible, right? So it's just like, for me personally, it gets into my head where I'm like, dude, I'm not playing this game at the highest level I could be. I'm wasting my time. Why am I doing this? And then eventually I just uninstall. Now, that's not to say that Idola Phantasy Star Saga is a bad game. Remember, this is the most disappointing list, not bad list. Maybe if this game would have came out a few years ago, it would have been a different outcome. But here in 2020 and 2021, I just don't have any room for Idola. So that is going to be number 6. Now, coming in at number 5 is Shining Beyond. Now, before Shining Beyond came out, it actually had a nice slow buildup of hype over the course of like several months. Now, for me, it started when their previous game shut down, and you guys know me, when I see a shutdown, I start sniffing around. I'm trying to see what's going on. So I went into the Facebook post of their shutdown announcement, and actually the audience that was responding to that post were very, very nice. They were like wishing the company well, thank you for the memories, we can't wait for your next project, like very different than most shutdown comment sections. So when they announced their new project, Shining Beyond, and they showed off that live 2D art, people were getting a little excited about the game. Not to mention that this company actually ran a beta like you're supposed to run a beta, right? They were getting feedback, they were changing things, they were putting out constant director's notes. So a lot of people started to jump on the hype train with this one, including myself, because it looked like they were doing all the right things. Now, just because you do all the right things, right? Just because you're attentive to the community, you make changes, you improve on things, that doesn't necessarily mean hoping the final product is going to be something that is engaging and fun for people. And for me, once I got out of that honeymoon period, once I got over all that beautiful 2D art and I was actually playing the game, I was a little lit down by the combat. I was lit down by the visual pornography. And I'm not talking about the live 2D art. I'm talking about like in combat, like the ultimates were underwhelming. The combat was underwhelming. The backgrounds look like Microsoft Paint. The daily gameplay loops, like the really harsh roadblocks when it comes to progress. Not to mention all the things they changed once global launch hit when it came to farming shards. It just, for me personally, it was just like opposite Drake, right? It was like, you know, 0 to 100. It was 100 to 0 for me. And I spent money in the game. I was streaming the game. And then just one day I'm like, I actually don't find anything in this game very fun. Right? Nothing was very fun. Nothing was visually stimulating for me. And it just, eventually I just stopped playing it. So it's a little unfortunate because I feel like in beta, they did a lot of things right. But just because you have great intentions doesn't guarantee your game is gonna be good. You know what I mean? So for Shining Beyond, a little disappointing. So that is number 5, Shining Beyond. Now coming in at number 4, ladies and gentlemen, what do you get, right? When you take two companies that already have a proven track record of success. When you take a company like Netmarble, who is absolutely killing it with 7 Deadly Sins. You take another company like Kabam, who's done a bang up job with Marvel Contest of Champions. You slap both of those companies together with all of the know-how, the experience, and darn near unlimited resources to come together to bring you a brand new game with all of that experience and know-how. And then you slap on top of all of that, my friends, the Marvel license, which is one of the hottest IPs on the planet right now. And what do you get? What do you get, my friends? You get this abysmal shell of a game, this MVP called Marvel Realm of Champions. This game is so bare bones. It's so empty. The guild functionality in this game doesn't even let you know the last time a person logged on. Right? Really? In 2021, you don't even have a basic guild functionality to let people know when's the last time someone logged into the game. It has one gameplay mode that could, I guess, be considered to be a decent, fun experience. Everything else in the game is bare bones. Everything else in the game is not well thought out. And not to mention the core of the game itself. Now, I've seen some argument on this one, but I don't think the graphics in this game are very good. I think the sound effects are absolutely atrocious. Who got Iron Man going pew, 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 pew? Who got Iron Man doing that? Who? I want to know. No voiceover work, no feeling of impact, no Hulk smash, like not even an announcer. How about an announcer that's like triple kill, shut down, ultra, nothing? You make a game that's literally like an arena-based battler and there is no personality. There's no thoughts. There's just nothing in this game. All they wanted to do was be like, yo, we got the Marvel license. Let's just throw out this shell of a game. People are gonna pay us money for it. And once they start giving us a little bit of money, I guess we'll think about making the game decent. And that I hate that mentality. And I really hope that any game that tries to pull this in 2021 gets shut down and gets shut down quickly, because it's just an insult, you know? Because these game companies are not blind, right? You think Kabam doesn't know? You think Netmarble doesn't know? Of course they know. Of course they know this game was a barren wasteland when it came to content. The game is so bad. The game is so bad and so unfinished. The very first director's note, think about this for a second. The game just globally launched, right? Their very first director's note was saying, hey, we're gonna work on making equipment feel valuable. We're gonna work on making equipment feel like it actually does something to your characters. Dude, you just launched the game. You just built the game. You guys haven't been thinking about making equipment worthwhile the entire time you've been building the game? You wait until now? Oh my God, this game is bad. This game is terrible, and I'm mad, all right? I'm angry. I wanna play a good Marvel game, but this ain't it. Now, coming in at number 3, don't come for me, all right? Don't come for me on this one. Final Fantasy Brave Exvius War of the Visions. Now, when it comes to the most played IP of my entire life, Final Fantasy is that game. I mean, that's easy to do because there's like a billion of them, but there's no IP on the planet that I've played more games of than Final Fantasy. So I was highly looking forward to playing this game, brought to you by the Alchemist Code team. So I'm thinking they got the experience, they got the know-how, you know, they know all the things that did work and didn't work in Alchemist Code. They're gonna make sure that this game with this license is gonna be that game. And unfortunately, I don't think they use any of that experience whatsoever. It feels like they literally just took everything that was in Alchemist Code, literally everything, all of the bloat, all of the second jobness of Alchemist Code, and they just threw the Final Fantasy name on it. So when all the fans of this game, like I said, don't come for me. I'm not saying that the game is bad. I'm just saying that this game is the epitome of second job the video game. I think this game would have been so much better had they just trimmed a little bit of the fat. There's just no reason why this game has so much going on. There's no reason to have this much game, all right? I know that sounds really weird because I just complained at Realm of Champions for not having any content. Now I'm mad at War of the Visions for having too much going on. FG, you're never satisfied. I know, but I just feel like this game could have just done a little bit better with some more streamlining, you know, trimming some of the fat. There's no reason why this game needed to play exactly like Alchemist Code. I don't know why they did that, but for me, every single time I come back to this game, there's just way too much going on. I wish that another developer made this one, unfortunately. So War of the Visions comes in at number 3. Oh, you knew this game was gonna be on the list. Number 2 for me as most disappointing game of 2020, Destiny Child Defense War. I have been begging, I've been pleading, I've been dreaming of a Destiny Child spin-off game using all of my favorite characters in my live 2D art and put inside a game that just had, you know, like a better combat engine, you know, maybe something 3D, maybe something landscape, like something like that. And I was hoping that they were working on it. And when I saw them announce this game, a lot of people in my Discord thought it was gonna be like Destiny Child plus Arknights because they saw the Defense War name. Oh no, it's not. Now, once again, just like in all the games on this list, I'm not saying this is a bad game. I hear this is based on another type of game that's very popular, like the whole gameplay flow is kind of popular. So I get that, but I want these Destiny Child characters to have their time to shine in a real game that has a real graphics engine, right? I feel like they need to be working on that, and I'm not sure what's going on over there at Shift Up. I really don't think that that team understands the absolute gold mine they're sitting on, or maybe they just don't have the financial resources to expand it out. I don't know. If that's the case, start doing collaborations with other game companies. Do something, right? Make it happen, Destiny Child, because Defense War, for me, just wasn't it. Now, coming in at number 1, most disappointing game of 2020 for me personally, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna give you guys a hint, right? I'm gonna give you guys all a hint. And what I want you to do, after I give you this hint, if you were able to guess the game, go down in the comment section below, write the name of the game and be like, FG, I got it. All right, so here it is. Here's the hint. Here is my number 1 most disappointing game of 2020. You ready for the hint? Okay, here's the hint. Here's the hint. Kill, murder, mayhem, darkness. Ah. All right, what game is that? Are you writing it down? You got it? So for me, the most disappointing game of 2020 has got to be SinoAlice. Dude, the amount of hype behind this game, everybody was talking about this game is gonna be the truth, the most amazing story you ever done seen in your entire life. Symphogear had to die to make this game even better. And when I finally got my hands on this game, dude, the graphics, the backgrounds, the enemies, the animations. I mean, the only thing that I thought was good about this game was the soundtrack and the summoning animations, and that is it. That is it. That is all I liked about SinoAlice. So for me, my number 1 most disappointing game of 2020 has got to be SinoAlice. So that will do it, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Once again, my name is FG3000. I thank you a ton for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video. Later.